Everyone. We are Team 6 and we will present to you our project. Original concept for a fortified fortune sweet bun with upcycled tiger nut pulp from horchata production with mentor Professor Monica Mironesco. So let me introduce ourselves. This is Dubois Timothy. He's from University from Lyon, France, and Raúl Campillo. He's from University in Saragossa, Spain, and me, Gabriela Sakaleva, from a university in Bulgaria. And now we start. Introduction shortly, description of the state of the art. Horchata is a traditional and refreshing beverage from the Valencian community, Spain, with roots dating back to the 3rd century following the arrival of the Arabs in the Iberian Peninsula. This beverage is protected by the Trufa de Valencia designation of origin, which guarantees the use of 100% locally grown tiger nuts, also referred as trufas. Tiger nuts are rich in fiber, unstarted fats, vitamin C and E, and essential minerals such as iron, phosphor, and magnesium. Fortune is an elongated sugar-glazed pastry traditionally consumed by dipping into horchata. They have become a hallmark pairing in Valencian gastronomy, enhancing the sensory appeal of this classic beverage.
Regarding the market analysis of this project, we identified the target market as health-conscious Spanish consumers concerned about food waste. They like following plant-based diets and also seeking eco-friendly alternatives. And these consumers valuing nutritional transparency and reduce environmental footprint. We have also identified the competitive landscape of our product. Our product competes with low sugar, sustainable plant-based beverages, although it has an unique position as traditional and it's a refreshing Mediterranean beverage. It is a highly seasonal product with peak summer consumption during the summer. Regarding the research and development of this product, we firstly studied the solid waste left after horchata production, known as tiger nut pulp or just the solid waste, to understand its behavior in bakery applications. To test how it integrates into a traditional farton recipe, and the fiber content, we firstly selected a traditional recipe of farton to work with. As you can see, the most prevalent ingredient in the way is the wheat flour, which we pretend to partially substitute with the solid waste from tiger nut. To test how it integrates into the traditional farton recipe, we propose to test 5 supplemented versions, a control experiment, which is the E0, the control, and 4 with 2.5, 5, 10, and 25% substitution of wheat flour with tiger nut pulp, the solid waste. These percentages were inspired by similar trials using coffee cherry pulp in bread production. We chose also a high dose of tiger nut pulp, the 25%, to see the effect of a higher supplementation. But we expect that dough not to rise properly. Regarding the sensory evaluation of our product, we suggest to assess the impact of each experiment, conducting, first of all, a 7-point hedonic test for overall liking, a descriptive test for appearance, odor, taste, and texture of the product, and doing triangle tests to conduct differences, to detect differences among samples. This would allow us to evaluate consumer acceptance in a structured way. The final product description. Tiger nut is rich in dietary fiber, almost 60% of the final product, mostly insoluble fiber, and has notable fat and protein content. Compared to whole tiger nuts, the pulp still retains valuable nutrients, uh, and its water holding capacity makes it a promising ingredient for bakery products like fartons. And finally, regarding the final formulation of our product, we expect the 5% formulation showing the best balance between texture, taste, and so on. With higher fiber content, the final product meets the European Commission requirements to be labeled as a source of fiber, as you can see on the right. And definitely, it's a more sustainable product, a more nutritious version of the traditional sweet pastry from Valencia.
Now I will talk about the financial analysis. So now looking at the financial side, our key advantage is the use of tiger nut pulp. Since this ingredient is a byproduct, it's low cost and available locally, which reduces our raw material expenses and supports our sustainable positioning. The cost of producing one unit, meaning a set of 3 enriched fartons with horchata, is estimated at around 2.10 euros. This figure includes all raw ingredients like wheat flour, eggs, sugar, oil, and tiger nut pulp. The packaging, which will be sustainable, either recyclable or compostable, energy, logistics, and labor cost. Our fixed costs for the first year are projected at around 20,000 euros. This includes equipment investments, product development and tasting phases, legal certifications, and business licenses. With an average sale price of around 5 euros per unit, we estimate that reaching 8,000 units sold will allow us to cover our costs and reach our break-even point. Selling 8,000 units would generate about 40,000 euros in revenue. Once we subtract the production cost for these units, approximately 16 and 800 euros, and the fixed cost of 20,000 euros, we reach a small initial profit, confirming the project's financial viability from that point. Our objective for the first year of releasing this product is more ambitious. We would target 15,000 units sold, mainly through organic shops, cafes, local markets, and sustainable e-commerce platforms. With the price range between 4.90 euros and 6.50 euros, our total revenue potential for year one is between 73 and 500 euros at the lower price point, and 97 and 500 euros at the higher price point. From this revenue, we subtract around 31 and 500 euros in variable production costs, plus our 20,000 euros in fixed cost. In the low scenario, this would give us a net profit of around 22,000 euros. In the high scenario, profits could reach around 46,000 euros. This represents a return on investment between 110% and 230% after the first year. A very positive outlook for food innovation project relying on sustainable ingredients and premium positioning. What drives this financial potential is a combination of two factors. First, the low production cost, thanks to the valorization of the tiger nut pulp. Second, consumers' willingness to pay more for premium, eco-friendly products that are seen as both healthy and innovative. Now, regarding the challenge and the risk, despite the promising outlook, several risks need to be managed. The first is consumer acceptance. Adding tiger nut pulp changes both the texture and slightly the flavor of the traditional fartan. Even if we improve its nutritional value, some consumers may find this different. To address this, continuous recipe testing and consumer feedback will be essential to fine-tune both taste and texture. Another challenge is the seasonality of horchata consumption. Since it's typically seen as a summer drink, demand may slow down significantly outside those months. This could impact sales and production planning. To minimize this risk, we would plan to diversify sales channels by targeting year-round cafe and eco stores, introduce bundling strategies or complementary products to sustain interest during colder months. A further risk is sourcing and logistics. Ensuring a consistent and high-quality supply of tiger nut pulp will depend on securing agreements with certified horchata producers. Since this pulp is a byproduct, we'll need standardized procedures to guarantee its quality and safety before incorporating it into food production. Finally, entering the competitive plant-based snack market means we'll need to invest in branding and communication to differentiate ourselves clearly. Consumers' education will be key. We'll need to explain not only the sustainability aspect, but also the cultural value behind the product. By addressing these risks through strong supplier partnerships, continuous product optimization, and targeted marketing, we believe the project could successfully balance tradition, sustainability, and modern consumers' expectations. So, to conclude, the study demonstrated that adding 5% tiger nut pulp to fartan can increase fiber content more than fivefold, 59.7 grams on 100 grams, without compromising taste or texture. Financial analysis forecasts a return on investment of 110% to 230%, with sales exceeding 15,000 units. The product reduces food waste and contributes to achieving SDGs 3, 9, and 12. In this research, we emphasized tradition and eco-innovation, and we obtained an organic vegan product. Certification, using QR codes to share ingredients origins, and building a recognizable brand targeting health-conscious and environmentally engaged consumers are the next step. Thank you for your attention.
The Fortune is 100% plant-based, lactose-free, and fits vegan, halal, and kosher diets, making it easy to entire global markets. Labeling will follow EU Regulation 1169/2011 and adapt to local rules abroad. Its authentic Mediterranean taste combined with sustainability creates a modern, healthy, and globally adaptable image of Spanish gastronomy. Our project supports the environment by using local tiger nuts and using their pulp instead of wasting it. This saves resources, lowers emissions, and helps local farmers. Because it's plant-based, the product has a smaller carbon footprint. It's a small but real example of how sustainability starts by turning leftovers into something viable. Each fortune will have a smart QR code that connects directly with people and shows the product story, from the local tiger nut to the upsiled pulp. Technology helps track every production step and measure impact like waste reduction. Throughout social media, influencers, and online shops, the brand reaches more people in a modern, transparent way. It's not just food, it's a digital connection between producers, consumers, and vows. The goal is to show that our fortune is not just tasty, but also meaningful and sustainable. Its design uses natural Mediterranean colors for a clean and friendly look. Online communication will focus on storytelling, real people, real impact. Through coffees, nutritions, and influencers, the message will spread authentically. authentically. We want to consumers to feel proud choosing a product that tasted good and does good. Our fortune is 100 plant-based, fighting vegan, halal, and kosher diets, which makes it ideal ideal for global markets. It follows EU food regulation and adapts to local labeling abroad. Combining Mediterranean taste with sustainability, it represents a modern healthy image of Spanish gastronomy. Thank you for attention.